Welcome back, Impact fans. I'm Jay here with the true horror king Gary, who has his own awesome horror YouTube channel. Just search for Gary's Movie Emporium on YouTube, or you can click the link above. But we're on a bunch of podcasts now where a lot of people are watching, and you can't see that link, so, just search for it. For anyone new, unlike many other podcasts, we try to keep things positive when it comes to Impact. We're honest, but we're also fans. We're not going to go out of our way to bash things, because why would fans do that? Some don't. And if you haven't already, check out TNAIW, talking nonsense about Impact Wrestling. They got a lot of cool, different stuff, not just bullshit news or shocking opinions for views. We could all do that if we want to be view whores, but we are fans. Okay, so we're going to start off with our overall grades for this week's show. Then we'll do match grades, got some mailbag questions, run down the show. Show included some crazy dude in an orange hoodie and all kinds of fun shit. What's your grade, Gary?
On the overall show?
Yeah, the whole damn.
Are you talking like out of 10 or like
10
out of 4?
No, 10.
Yeah, out of 10, I would definitely give this one just for the variety factor that was throughout. Like it covered all kinds of like facets of the wrestling industry a little more than past weeks. I would probably give this about an 8.7 or 8.
Okay. Yeah. Now you just made me think, why do people do overall grades out of 10 and then match grades out of 4? But I guess we could save that for another day. Mine is an 8.5. And I am bringing back the MVP out of nowhere because Delirious has totally won me over in just 2 short weeks. He simply has one of my favorite things in wrestling, and that's unique offense. Gary, you know all about him as a former Ring of Honor fan. For any fans out there, we're talking the real Ring of Honor, which died. Not whatever the hell Tony Khan is doing with wrestlers and no actual promotion and titles. Gary, what do you think about? What do you think about his match and just Delirious?
I'm gonna admit I didn't like this one quite as good as his match with Speedball, but it was fun for what it was because it was two kind of out there or out of the ordinary characters in Black Taurus and Delirious. I did like that part when he kept bouncing off the ropes and kept dropping the leg, kind of like
I really like that. Yeah, I really like that.
He does that intentionally. I think he tries to get the arena talking. That's the kind of shit he does when he's in a ring like that, like somebody similar to him, like a Black Taurus. He's been doing that kind of gimmick, living up to the name of Delirious.
Yeah, I'm still not positive what it is. Like you're saying, I'm not I don't understand all that exactly yet, but it's really cool, and I hope they stick with him and kind of get into that whole backstory of him and make him I don't want to say a very good jobber, but I don't know, whatever's above that, kind of like a mid-range kind of ex guy, also working backstage.
Oh yeah, well, I'd like to add to tonight's podcast is brought to you by the film Teacher Shortage from Bayview Entertainment. So if you get a chance, check that out on Tubi and some other. I think it's available on Amazon Prime, but it's free on Tubi. So that'd be.
I'm gonna take a wild stab right now and say that's a horror movie and not a comedy.
It's definitely a horror film and a slasher film. My favorite genre. So.
Yeah, well, you need to throw some comedies in there, buddy. You're starting to scare me. So how about this? How about this week's ratings, which went up and over 100,000, I believe, and they placed for the first time in a while, even going up against Thursday Night Football. Right? Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, definitely between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And they also went head-to-head against a huge foray of weather coverage with Superstorm Ian down in Florida. They actually hit 100,000 this week, but here's the kicker: their demo went up to 0.02 this week. So
yeah, nice to get back to that.
Yeah, that's the highest it's been since the September 1st show.
Yeah, so good news there. And supposedly, 411 Mania says it, and I believe them. I'm not sure. I think, whatever. 411 reported that they still haven't fixed the whole issue where it's coming up as a replay sometimes for the live shows on the guide or DVR or whatever. So that's probably screwing them up a little bit.
Well, I got an idea for Impact to get to a better place.
Oh
They
shoot.
they currently own other entities in the entertainment industry. I think they own like Game TV that's available in Canada, but that's something else that we could discuss in a future episode. But my idea is they currently own HDNet, which is available on over 12 million like I don't know if it's
House,
you know
houses or whatever.
all
Yeah.
over cable. It's
Yeah.
available in 12 million homes. And if you accompanied that 12 million with the 50 million that um, they get on Access TV, you're looking at 62 million right there. And if there's a way they could kind of like combine the two, like in one night or even the next day or whatever they're able to pull off, that'd be more eyes on the product, and you could kind of factor that into an overall viewership amount.
Yeah, and they have it. Why the hell not?
And they do
Also,
own it because that's what Wikipedia was saying. So, I mean, there's an idea, Scott, if you're listening or whoever. There you go.
I'm thinking maybe they have some kind of idea with putting everything kind of like that together, maybe somewhere, or like gravitas. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Okay. I think I gave. Oh yeah, I gave my grade. Okay, this is a weird one, but I hate to complain about fan noise, especially when it's loud. But did you catch the one person screaming at the top of their lungs early on? It was like whoa, whoa, like it
I
was
don't
like
know.
screechy.
Yeah, I wonder if it might have been. I don't know. I know there's a few girl. Might have actually been the Honor No More girls that was screaming because I know when they come to when Honor No More did they kick off the show or no?
Um, no, I think it was the
Oh, okay, yeah,
Bullet
okay,
Club Bullet Club match.
okay. No, but I think there was a part in there at one point that you said it was at the beginning of the show though,
Yeah,
right?
right at the beginning. I think it was kind of like basically when they were announcing it, like the show just started and the Bullet Club was coming down.
Yeah, it must have been because of Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Yeah, I guess so. It reminded me of those screeching horses in the latest Thor movie, which really annoyed me. But whatever, no big deal. Quick thing before the first match, I noticed I really like how Heath and Swan have kind of like gotten back into the main event scene in different ways. Like Swan was there, he lost to Omega, so he belongs there. Then you got Heath, who kind of just came out of nowhere, like this Stone Cold kind of guy, and now they're both like main event kind of guys back, or like very close to it.
Yeah, they looked like on key, considering they don't really have that what is it like cohesiveness in the ring together as a team. But I think they both pulled off their moves, pretty spectacular considering they haven't had that work experience as a team, like a makeshift team, if you will.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just talking like more overall about the whole like they still got like Swan and Eddie going on, and then you
Oh
got Heath, like Heath basically taking on the whole friggin' roster, and like I don't know, to me like they're kind of like moving up to that, or at least top mid. I don't know, top mid carders or whatever. I like what they're doing. Even though I hate seeing PCO lose ever.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but he didn't take the pin here though, did he? Wasn't it Vincent that got pinned, or
I'm
was
pretty,
it?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Vincent. I'd be cool with
Yeah,
that. So that's not a big deal. And like I just said about those two guys who think are kind of main eventers are getting there. They need wins like this, even if it's against PCO and Vincent, who, whatever. PCO's not going to be world champ. I hate to say it. Probably anytime soon, even though I'd kind of like that. Probably by myself on that one. But okay, opening match. Once again, awesome. This is like a thing that's been going on for a while now. Like every week, and it seems to be like something to like usually they had a knockouts match, I think, and then just X Division matches or like back and forth. And this one was a tag team X Division match, which we usually don't see.
well, let's not forget the Bullet Club. Austin and Bay were accompanied to the ring by Juice Robinson, which you told kind of broke some semi news about him earlier today.
Yeah, huge breaking news, broken by myself and nobody else in the universe. I don't even know if this is true or not, but I was just like searching Google, and sometime during today, it looked like Juice was added to the Impact roster page. along with, goddamn, I'm gonna forget his name now. Jack Price. Oof, damn, good.
Yeah.
Jack Price, who didn't win gut check, but he was like in the gut check thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
So
most certainly was. I don't know if he was the first or second to be signed, or if they had signed him in one night. It was either or.
yeah, and you mentioned before, there's like something going on with Juice. I think like AEW might have mentioned they were going to sign
Yeah,
him, or
yeah. The thing is, I guess Tony Khan had mentioned. I don't know if Tony Khan actually mentioned it, but this was what the dirt sheet said, that he has his eyes on Bandito, and it's supposed to be a really huge offer, which probably lands Impact in them not getting him or getting close to signing him, because we can't get into that dollar sign kind of competing for talent. But
yeah,
as far as Juice Robinson, it makes the most sense. I think he did love his current or former run that he had with Finn Juice. With who was his name? I can't remember. Finley.
oh yeah, David Finlay.
Yeah, David Finley, and I could honestly see him being an Impact, because I mean it makes the most sense, because our shows have been kind of like pretty much predominantly Bullet Club matches.
Yeah, I don't know how strong that roster page is in terms of like if somebody signed or if they just like somebody just
Yeah, 'cause
decided.
that doesn't mean a lot, because
Yeah,
we had the Briscoes on our roster page, and
yeah. So
what happened to that? So
yeah, so I guess take it with a grain of salt or what have you, and I will give that match a 3.65. Dropping in all kinds of numbers here after my 3. So
yeah,
3.65. What do you give it?
yeah, I can't argue with that. I'd have to probably go a slightly better, just because I love the X division, and all these guys are the
Yeah,
poster
really
boy
fun.
for that division, and I don't. I'd have to give it about a 3.75.
Yeah, everybody except what's his name? The champ.
Oh yeah,
Speedball.
yeah,
Good old speed up. Up. We know what that means. Okay, this time we got 2 mailbag questions back to back. We're gonna come hitting you fast and hard. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Alicia, and I'd love to get off the sinking ship I'm currently on. Can I have a job? P.S. Don't read this one on the air. Whoops. Okay. My bad on that. Let me just jump over to the second one. Hello, Gary and Jay. This is Michael from DC. I listen weekly on Apple Pods and share your show with my wrestling friends. My question is, who is your favorite Impact wrestler of all time? This goes for each of you. Thanks so much for getting to my question. Well, that's very nice. Gary, you want to take it? Who's
yeah.
your favorite?
Oh sure.
Ever, TNA Impact.
Okay. Thinking back to the early days of Impact, like when I first started being hooked on it in the old FSN days, which was a Fox Sportsnet channel. Off the bat, I would have to say AJ Styles, but at some point it had flipped over to Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, just because he was a consummate underdog. He always came up, short against when they had triple threats with Joe and AJ Styles. He always came up, a hair short, and I always pulled for him. And I always liked that the Impact Zone had this big chant for him too. So they got me into liking him more than say AJ. So I'd have to say at this point, Christopher Daniels would be my all-time favorite. How about you?
I was gonna lie, but because I didn't want to say the same thing, but yeah, I mean Daniels to me is one of the most entertaining guys ever. I mean, I guess I will also put EY up there because I think he's like the closest thing, and just both like awesome wrestlers, incredibly entertaining. And I'm gonna cheat a little because this is like getting up to 4, but Beer Money is the reason I started watching. I randomly caught a match between them and Motor City Machine Guns. I think it was like a best of 7, and that shit was insane.
Yeah.
That
Well,
shit was insane.
if I had an additional one, if I was going to pick out of all the guys I used to mark out for an Impact too, another one would be Low Key.
Oh yeah, he was a great one. I mean, yeah, I can name a bunch all day. I was an Oceanaries freak, Eli Drake, but
Same
whatever.
with you too. They're very similar.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to Monsters Ball because this was pretty wild. I thought Masha defeats Allie Ketch, which was Thought pretty obvious, but I did like how they were locked away with food, no food, no water or lights. Now, is this a thing that they always do for Monsters Balls?
Uh, I noticed this regime tends to do this more often, like turning out the lights and like depriving them of any water or food. It's kind of a little bit hokey for me. I'm not gonna lie, but I guess if you're trying to capture that, that new audience, maybe this is the route to go. I mean, it kind of does. It kind of feels a little bit like the movie series Saw, a little bit, where they're on this camera and then they're like in a room by themselves. So maybe that's what they're trying to go for. I don't know.
I mean, I like the idea of it. Just, I mean, if they do it, then stick with it. Because, like, I don't think I've seen. I don't know. Maybe I have seen it before. I just don't remember. But whatever. Very, very good match. Very good. I mean, I love hardcore matches like this, especially with knockouts. It's kind of a different thing. I'm not a huge fan of Allie Katch, but I thought she did a really good job here. Like, that's kind of her thing if you don't know her. Just putting on, kind of like killing herself in hardcore matches.
Yeah, I don't know anything about. I don't even really know much about the GCW product. I don't know if we're supposed to mention it on an Impact podcast, but what I thought was very impressive, but also cringy at the same time in this match, it really wasn't the thumbtacks. It more or less was the cut up soda cans that was really, really out there. And I'm like, man, I don't know how these girls don't go to the hospital with like all kinds of stitches. Cause I don't know if you've ever tried to split a soda can apart.
Oh yeah. Don't even,
I mean, it's pretty sharp.
One time when I was young, my brother opened a soda can and told me it would be a trick if I rubbed my finger on it. You know what I mean? Like sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just sliced my finger right up. Screw you if you're listening for that, jerk. All right, let's jump to the Invasion. Guy in orange hoodie.
Yeah, this was very random. We were sitting there, we were getting a close-up of Tom Hannafan and Matthew Raywalt, and all of a sudden this guy in a yellow like hoodie or yellow or orange. It was hard to tell with the lighting. It looked like more yellow, but he tried to jump the fencing behind them, and all of a sudden he was grabbed. And it kind of reminded me back of the days when we would have the aces and the eights, like people that were trying to make the cut for the faction. That's what it kind of reminded me of. I don't know if you got that vibe, but I thought that was pretty cool, and also kind of like I wasn't expecting it either, so it kind of threw me for a shock. I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah, no, I love things like that, just like weird things out of nowhere that you're not expecting. So, absolutely loved it. Thought it was great. Even though it was like a little tiny thing that was like 3 seconds or whatever. I mean, I think it's obvious.
Very brief.
I think it's obviously, just well, I mean, not obviously because we don't know who the person is, but obviously it's EY's group, right?
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah, because they had and then he did some kind of gesture with his finger. I don't know. I think he was saying something about violence. I think he said, and he did some kind of finger gesture, and then they took him away. I don't know if you noticed that.
Maybe it was a V.
Yeah, that might have been what it was. I didn't really. Like I said, it threw me for a loop having him come out to the ring, that close to the commentary team.
Yeah, I mentioned on Twitter. I thought maybe it was an angry-looking Manny Lemons, but closer look, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Well, as long as it wasn't B. Brian Blair or something like that.
Yeah, but
the killer.
But then I checked his Twitter and noticed he has pneumonia. So everybody, sent some good vibes out to Manny. And okay, then we get Myers defeated Crazy Steve and announces an open challenge for his DMC at BFG. I don't know who the hell that's going to be. Maybe just some new person. Any ideas?
I do have this kind of zany one too. I have a feeling we're going to get. It's been a while since we've seen this gentleman in an Impact ring. He took a bit of a step away there for a little bit. I'm going to say Matt Cardona.
That would make sense.
I'm just saying because I don't think he wants. Isn't he closing in on Matt Cardona's overall totals in terms of like how long he held the belt?
Didn't even know that. But
yeah, that was mentioned. So I don't know if they threw that out there for, like, as you put it, as a red herring. So I don't know if that's what.
Yeah, that would definitely make sense. Also, I don't think I gave my grade for the Masha match, but I will give that a 3.75.
Yeah, I'd have to go a little higher even with this, just because I like a hardcore match. I'd give it about a 3.8.
Fair, and I think the Myers match was, kind of too short to even grade. Unless you
Yeah, it's
feel like it.
basically more about setting up this. What is it? What's this called exactly?
The Collier shot gauntlet.
Yeah, I think it's more or less to put that up for put that over at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, all about the Collier shot gauntlet and Myers' title. Like, this is basically a um, storyline match. So I don't really count that as something to grade. And the Black Taurus match, I think I forgot, but I would give that one about 3.25. I'm really enjoying Delirious.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'd probably give it maybe about that, maybe about a 3.3, somewhere around there. It wasn't the greatest, but like it served its purpose because the match you could tell was all about the monster or the weirdness going on between the two because it was almost like they spoke the same language. I didn't know if you got that a little bit.
Yeah, it was cool. Also, Eddie Edwards coming out for the Honor No More celebration. Love this. Love everything about Honor No More, pretty much. Eddie's. I love Eddie fucking with PCO. Like, this has been going on since so long now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he mentioned like his setbacks or something, and he was staring right at PCO. like out of all the guys to mess with, like, why would you go with PCO? And I think it's really cool. Like, I think he's gonna be the one that can cost him, or like, I don't know, whatever at BFG.
Well, I like the facial expressions that he's doing. Like you could tell he wants to go off on Eddie, but
Yeah.
then we have Vincent that's got the bag ready for if he kind of
Yeah,
explodes.
I really, really like that. I mean, well, I said he would never be. I just said before he wouldn't be in the main event, so like getting the world title anytime soon. But Jesus, who knows? I mean, he's got
Well,
a thing going with Eddie, and if Eddie wins, then it could be the first friggin' shot, or I mean, whatever. It's interesting. I
well,
like him
I
being.
got to say about this part. Honestly, I know Eddie's supposedly the head of Honor No More, but I think our buddy Matt Taven looked great in this segue. And when you noticed he got on the he got on the microphone and he was saying that the management are a bunch of Melvins and that because the titles belong to them, that it isn't a fluke, it was pure talent. And come Bound for Glory, Eddie Edwards is going to pin Josh Alexander again. And then how great was Maria in this part too? Because she was saying it isn't that you were lucky, you're just that you're one of the only people that have pinned Josh on the same level without any help or anything. And she did a really good job of selling Honor No More here to make him look that much more credible.
Yeah, Maria's fantastic. I say it all the time. She just adds to everything. I mean, even just by being there. But then, yeah, you give her the microphone. She's fantastic on the microphone, and totally agree about Taven. I mean, like, they got so much going on just within this goddamn stable. Like, I could totally see like Taven. Like, I think he's better.
I see him signing long term, don't you? Honestly,
I hope so. I mean, Impact clearly likes him. He clearly likes Impact. It's a great spot for him. I mean, I think he's. I mean, I can go. I could talk forever about how much I dislike this guy, and I got pissed off when he even came to Impact. That's how much I didn't like him. And then, like, very quickly, like, Impact is just better with characters than Ring of Honor. I think most people would agree with that.
so
And I don't know, like you said, he was great on the mic here. Like, I feel like he's kind of like you said, he's like, I don't know, not the leader, but second, like a very close second right now.
Very, very passionate on the mic, and like I think that's why he's excelled in the industry because like ROH trusted him, and when they put the belt on him, I think he become that much more hungry, and he's showing how hungry he is in Impact. So Matt, if you're on the fence about Impact, cross that line, buddy.
Yeah, please sign. Yeah, I mean, that's just shocking, Matt Taven, how much I've become a fan of his. And yeah, again, I just love Honor No More, everything about them. It's so goddamn whatever. Can't keep going on about that. Let's go. All right, highlights from last week's ladder match, which again I thought was fun. I like most ladder matches. I like that whole thing that Myers did with the tape. But then Bhupinder gets some mic time to announce he's entering the Call Your Shot gauntlet. So, that happened. I don't think Gary's going to need to add anything on that.
No.
So let's jump right to the Kazarian promo, which was right after. But do you really want to put a Kaz promo right after Bhupinder? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of makes Bhupinder look worse. I don't know. I would have jumped to a match then back to Kazarian because Kaz is just a legend at this point. He's like,
yeah, I like what they did with Kaz here too, because he's kind of telling you about his legacy.
Yeah,
and he's putting the old Impacts over as well. Back when he first started with the company when it was TNA. I like the backstory he kind of gave us here a little bit. This was a little bit much better of a promo coming from him this time around as well. I didn't know if you felt like that, but I thought it was very genuine.
Yeah, I never thought he was an awesome promo guy, but this was very, very, very good promo. And, well, maybe the Bhupinder timing before him made it look even better, but I don't know. And it was the whole, like you said, the legend wants his old title back. It's going to be an awesome match, him and Bailey, and it can go either way, I think. I could totally see them giving Kazarian a little run.
Well, I'd like to give Mean Gia Miller a big shout out on the episode here tonight, or the podcast. She does a very good job of her expressions when she conducts her interviews. I think she made Kaz look that much better too. I felt like she looked sincere with all of her questions and everything. Like she kind of looked up to him as a hero.
Yeah, and she doesn't overdo it, and
her facial expressions are spot on.
Yeah, very, very good. She does a very good job, and she doesn't overdo it and try to make it about her. Okay, what did you think about Swinger's Dungeon? I thought it was funny, and I'm a little confused about. Well, not confused. I'm confused about how I think about the room that he's in, because I get it. It's Swinger. What the hell else could he have in that room? But also, I wish it was more dungeony, if that makes sense.
I don't know if they're hinting at ditching the dungeon thing and bringing back Swinger's Palace. That's the vibe I got.
Okay.
Or maybe they're getting into another season of Wrestle House.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Did you watch season 2 of Wrestle House? It was nobody did.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I did watch. I watched both seasons, but I have to say I was a little partial to the first season.
Yeah, no, I think it was one of those things. The first time you saw it, it was just more interesting or whatever. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Joe Hendry. These are some weird segments, I gotta say. I like how they're I don't want to say super dark, but real life situations. It's just they're really weird segments.
Yeah, because it's really weird because they're playing this light comedy, and then it'll cut to a commercial, and then we'll get something to do with the more serious with the kids that are sick, St. Jude, and then we're going to commercial and going into that. It's just wow. You're playing totally. With our feelings 1 minute, you're making us die laughing, and then the next you're breaking our heart the next,
Yeah, and then when it comes on, I don't even know which one it is. I'm is this a regular commercial? I'm about to walk away, and then it's wait, something seems off about this, and then Hendry pops in. But whatever, it's interesting.
Color me wrong. I have a feeling. I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna see our old nemesis Grado at the tapings. Maybe at BFG. I'm getting that vibe. I don't know because him and Joe Hendry had that thing way back when. Wasn't he trying to steal his girlfriend or something like that, or he had a crush on somebody that was liking Grado, and then.
Katarina?
Yeah, or something. You remember that? I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit that kind of thing in the future, but I'm hoping.
If they go to the UK, then I will allow it.
Yeah, because he's so here.
What'd you think about the Rosemary stuff with Taya and Jessica? I'll be honest, this is the one part of the show I'm not really liking. I don't really Is Taya not knowing that Jessica is Havoc?
I don't know. I don't know if it's that or she's just ignoring the fact that she's having so much fun with her being not like her counterpart in Rosemary, who's dark and dreary, and now she's kind of like this, kind of like a valley girl, almost we all know it's Havoc, but
yeah, I got you. Okay, so she's just playing along.
Fun, playing kind of I don't know, the prom queen kind of thing going on, or what?
Okay, so Ty is playing along, and Rosemary's kind of being a dick to them, I guess, even though she's just trying to be realistic. And she was talking to Dr. James Mitchell, who was always good to see. And I liked how Mitchell mentioned Max the Impaler being off somewhere. Because, like, maybe that wasn't a one-off thing. And even if it was a one-off, like, I don't know. I like things like that.
Yeah, who knows? I could honestly see Rosemary trading up Havoc and joining Maxie Impaler, and then she'll be a part of the new Decay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they can get into. And I think the one thing we didn't get to was Bobby Fish, who wants to fight.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't remember at what point did they do a backstage interview? Is that?
Yeah, Fish was backstage with I believe. Really, I'm blanking on her name.
Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah, he wants to face legitimate competition.
Yeah, he mentioned Josh.
Yeah, and then he said he mentions too. He has lots of history with Eddie Edwards, and that he'd like to either challenge either or of those guys, depending on who comes out of Bound for Glory with the belt. So it sounds like long-term planning with Bobby Fish. So maybe we'll see him, late into the year at some of those later tapings that are falling, like the one that, remember I told you it was something like winter, something like the last month of the year in December.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll be honest, I did not love his promo, and I think he can maybe use a manager or something if he's going to be doing more of them. But I know he's a really good wrestler, and see what happens. He did mention he's going into the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, which probably a bunch of other people did that we might have missed. I don't know.
Well, see, this is why I think Kyle O'Reilly would have been maybe better. I mean, I know you can't get him to come in or whatever, as mentioned on the sheets, but I do think he needs somebody that's a little bit better on the mic, at least. I can't think of anybody that you could really pair him with that would make the most sense. But maybe.
Where's O'Reilly?
He's currently down south. But he's injured as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's part of that stupid. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, him and Adam Cole, I believe, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have them as a tag team. That'd be sweet.
We do need tag teams, but I don't know if
that'd be sweet. But can't have everything in life, and that was a damn good show overall. Sorry, I missed a Mia Yim thing here. What the hell did I just have Mia Yim backstage?
Oh, yeah, she had mentioned something about she respects Mickie James.
Oh, Mickie.
And she would hate to have to end her career, basically.
So did they announce that already? Is that Bound for Glory? Mia versus...
Yes, that is on the docket for Bound for Glory.
Well, I think we're done, so why don't you run down the...
Okay, the card thus far going into Bound for Glory, is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. I just wrote it down in the order I saw it written down. First match is at Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards, of course. You know what that's all for. The second match is Jordan Grace and Masha. And I don't know if that has a theme. Does that have a theme?
I don't think so.
Then we have OGK. I guess they're putting the belts up against Motor City Machine Guns.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
And then we got Speedball Mike Bailey taking on Kazarian, and that's for the title, I believe. And then we got Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya and Jessica. And then we have Call Your Shot Gauntlet with PCO, Giselle Shaw, Rich Swann, Heath, Moose, Bobby Fish, and more in the coming weeks to be determined. And
fun. And
then we have Mickie James and Mia, which we already mentioned. And then, of course, your one of your faves, Brian Myers, is issuing an open challenge. And I wouldn't be surprised if that kicks off maybe the pre-show, maybe, just to get the crowd and just, to be excited right off the bat. Or it could be the first match of the night.
I could see either one of those, or maybe the X match, or Yeah, I don't know. They got a bunch of. I mean, Call Your Shot Gauntlet's going to be fun as hell too. So
I have to agree with somebody. It's a damn solid card. I mean, I don't really see a weak match in there anywhere.
I don't know. It's a really, really good card. I mean, just listening to those matches. No, definitely not. I would say not one match that's like that doesn't have a chance to be awesome.
Yeah, and we were gonna get some surprises with that gauntlet. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe some debuts of some indie talent, or maybe we get a few guest visits from our collaborated promotion down south. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some. Maybe we'll see some chicanery with new members of Violent by Design. Who knows?
Yeah, a lot going on, a lot of good stuff, and yeah, I think that's about it for us this week. Unless
Yeah.
Gary has anything to add or more channels to promote.
No, I mean, there's a lot of horror channels I could put out there, but we're talking wrestling tonight. I don't really watch a lot of wrestling channels or anything like that anymore. I've been kind of busy with both podcasts, trying to dedicate any free time to both of those and doing them both justice. So,
Well, you do a damn good job. I speak for myself. I don't know about anyone else. And I guess some of your commenters. I mean, check his thing out. Everybody loves this dude. Kind of angers me a bit, but what are you going to do? Some people are more likable.
I don't see how.
Some people are more likable than others, and that's life. All right, I got to find some movie to watch. I hope everyone has a nice weekend or weekend whenever you're listening to this.
Well, we'll see you at Bound for Glory, everybody.
Actually, no, there's no another show. Oh, yeah. Shit, are we going to record before? I don't know. Maybe it'll be Bound for Glory. Find out. Peace.